Alright, hello everybody, and hello everyone. Welcome back to another brand new video, and I'm also volunteering for Knuckles, by the way, due to the absence, of course, of the plush versions of their characters, of the Sonic characters, apparently, that there are in their absences, by the way. But never fear, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, never fear. Because this time, I actually want to mention this to pretty much anybody at this point. For Season 4, to be revealed. Now, here's what I'm going to probably be opposing for Season 4. And yes, you might get another version from Knuckles, by the way, that technically it'll just be a non-plush version of himself. Exactly, that would just be himself talking, exactly. Which I know it still might be my voice of Knuckles, but, that's all I want to point out. So, anyway, there are going to pretty much be like a few updates exactly. That's going to be like maybe three, but apparently that might be three updates anyway. First is pretty much me. Second is pretty much Knuckles. And of course, three will pretty much be about reaction videos. That might be carrying on if their absences are a little bit somewhat not showing up in each reaction video that the plush characters do, most likely constantly all the time. So for those, by the way, I might be mentioning these from like 1, 2, and 3, that I might be mentioning in this anyway. So here's what I'm going to say of my mention about like the predictions of Season 4 ever going to be released to happen. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, so Season 4, by the way, is definitely going to be revealed somehow very soon, and very likely very soon. Now, why is it not close from getting to the green light? So here's the reason why it's not getting close to the green light. So yeah, how do I explain this? For a bit of the green light. So once the green light does hit a ding, by the way, on a green thumbs up, by the way, that it means that the season's going to be approved. Which means of my fourth, or should I say my main favorite, Knuckles, the Echidna, gets his fourth season. Now, here's how many things that Knuckles has to do before the season gets released. So, in order for Season 4 to be released, ladies and gentlemen, is that once Season 4 does get revealed, by the way, it has to pretty much be Knuckles himself making this version, by the way, of this video, that he pretty much will explain about how everything's going to change and how everything else is going to resume the same. Which, even though it's still going to relate to Sonic, by the way, that Sonic is still going to be the main hero, exactly like always, of course, well, that's the only chance if Sonic still stays in the entire season, which that's going to be the main point in all. So for those, by the way, who may ask me in this question is that, oh, why is Knuckles' season coming? Well, the reason why that my favorite Knuckles is coming in the season of number 4 is because you think he's going to get more of the spotlight, by the way, that yes, apparently he may still get a bit of the spotlight, that he may show up in each single episode, or maybe constantly just a bit off on his break and stuff. But the only characters who may still stay in the season, or the ones who might stay out of their absences a little bit, or maybe just be the one like holding the camera at this point, that some of the characters may hold the camera due to like some of their absences a little bit, or maybe not show up in some videos, that may have a bit of a different way of a fact that's going to be a bit impossible for some characters to be out of their absences in Season 4, which makes things a little bit more different and a little bit more tricky with my schedules and stuff having it to be released a little bit on the second channel, because due to like the one I'm gonna mention too, by the way, it's pretty much likely Chip Champ, by the way. That's pretty much causing to do not so much exactly, because in order for that to actually work for the season to be still continuing, because I was pretty much still gonna use it, but unfortunately I have to use something else than Clip Champ, by the way, because those, by the way, I want to mention too, by the way, that I was trying to access in it, but unfortunately it didn't let me do that because it's not letting me do nothing. So yeah, that's a little tricky for me to, however, to get that in. So that's all I wanted to say. And oh, as in for how all this is going to stay remain the same. So here's what I'm going to say and propose this to everybody, by the way, even if Knuckles, by the way, might still be able to get the chance for him to speak, which I think that's going to be the only thing for him to announce it exactly. So, for those, by the way, I want to say is that when will Knuckles' season be released in season 4? Well, here's what I'm going to say when it's going to be released. The only thing that might be released is like next year that might be released because I think it might be released next year, 2026, for like season 4 to ever be released by Knuckles the Echidna, or pretty much be set by me exactly for having season 4 being released. So for those who are excited for me that finally released season 4, then yes, season 4 might be released, and of course that, well, the characters are only going to get a few bit of the green lights and a few bit of X's, but the characters may show up on their appearances and may not clearly show up on their appearances as they will probably be in the season. So that's when I'm going to show you guys some a bit of green lights and a bit of like red lights, which means some characters will be out of their absences because due to the lack of the non-plush characters, of course, which I mean they're still going to be having their same voices and all, but the characters might probably get an X for those who might actually not come on back. Because I mean, for the ones who might never return at this point, is that I think it probably would be I think it'll probably be Meta Knight's Pokemon characters, I think, will probably also get X's. I mean, they probably won't get to be available to be in the season, so I think they'll probably get X's anyway. Because, I mean, they've probably been in there for 3 seasons. 3 seasons in a row. Like, literally 3 times in a row. And I know it might be a little bit anonymous and different, but trust me, it's going to be a little bit different for some reason that it might just change a little differently. So, yes, they might get X's and they might not be showing back their appearances. So I guess that's what happens. What that's really going to go on about. So yeah, and I know it sounds like me trying to like explain what's going to go happen, what's really going to be happening, or what's really going to go on. But trust me, it only depends about what's really happening at this point. Is like it's either going to be non-plush characters or maybe plush characters again. That it kind of remains on highly dependently. It highly depends on it. So that's all I gotta say. And the only thing I'm gonna ever mention right now that season 4 is going to be released next year of January. That it might be released. So for those who might be wanting to know why it's going to be released on January 2026, is because it might be released on that time, which it will be released. And as in for the post, by the way, I'll mention too on the post that it'll be mentioned too, that it'll just be something for me to release it, and we'll fully explain about how that's going to work out and how that's going to be explained, and of course will be followed by a follow. So that's all I wanted to say. And I'm not trying to like rush the season in. I'm just trying to say to get you guys a bit of a reminder that season 4 might finally be released on however it will finally come on back. That season 4 will return just like how season 3 did for Tails' season, but this time it's going to be for Knuckles' season. The character Knuckles. And yes, you guys will see a bit of like a slideshow. That you guys might see a slideshow for which characters will stay in the season, and for the ones who might stay out of the season that will get completely a bit of checks and X's so far. That that some may return and some of them might never come back at this point of their appearances. That they might be killed off their appearances a little bit for not showing up. So that's all I can say, and that's all I can describe of what might be the only solution of the answer. The predictions or something like that might come from the character itself to explain of it. So there you go. And that being said, I hope that you guys understood of this update. That's only coming from me. And I mean, the only thing that might get the update too is only going to be Knuckles. So I guess it's going to be 2 updates instead. Get it? It's going to be 2 updates instead. And yeah. So, like that being said, I want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up for something that might come up pretty bit different of what's really going to happen. So for those, by the way, who might understood or might know what's happening, and season 4 is coming back. It might be released. So, anyway, that's just my answers, and that's just what I'm going to say. And oh, how many episodes are we going to do in season 4? Well, good question. Good question. It highly depends if Eggman or another role that is going to be switched, however, to in the very end to fight Sonic or maybe actually defeat him or whatever's going to happen. And will Thanos return? The absolute answer is that yes, Thanos might return back and might instantly kill Sonic for good, but I'm not sure if he will try to do that. But that's going to be highly in a very different manner and a different way. If Sonic tries to encounter it again for the second time to encounter Thanos, or another character that could probably instantly just get rid of Thanos too easy again and knock him out at this point. So who knows? Who knows what could happen, and who knows what could really happen in many episodes and many predictions that could instantly just happen. But with that being said, it's going to get nuts. And I will tell you this, it's going to get nuts and it's going to be completely insane. So we'll see. We'll just see how this might lead and how this continues. But without further ado, and without that being said, it's time again and again that I will see you guys next time. And it's time I'm going to sign off. And don't forget, by the way, that Knuckles will have his version, by the way, to do the update as well, which means he'll also explain on his behalf of how the season's going to work and how the season will play out for how Knuckles' fourth season might work. But you may never know on some characters' appearances that they might return, or there might be a special guest of surprises who might also come on back to see however this might really go. You may never know which character that might show up again in season 4, but there could be answers on many reasons of what could happen and lead to happen anyway. So, like that being said, thank you guys so much for being patient, and it's going to be about a good time for season 4 to be revealed, and we'll also have a release date to actually fully be explained on the post. That it will pretty much be me explaining how it's going to go, how it's going to really go down, and how it's going to pretty much be on. And also, I know it's going to suck without any of the plush characters is doing their seasons as usual from season 1 to 3, but I think season 4 might be a bit different, or I might change it back in the middle episodes, or I might change it back in the end. So again, you guys may never know what could happen in the beginning, in the middle, and then in the end. Or I might be releasing the next other update that their plush characters will also make a return and come back, which means it might be set reverse a little bit to the normal episodes in the middle or directly in the end. But the beginning doesn't really affect it, by the way. It's only going to be depending however it goes on with what's really going to happen. So that's going to pretty much be my sin in the answer, and that's going to be my only question in the end. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for enjoying this update of mine. For me to take over a bit of Knuckles' precision a little bit in this one, but Knuckles' precision will be in the second one of his explanation of the V2 version that he'll explain exactly. That'll only be directly to Knuckles, not me, but just Knuckles talking. So anyway, that's all I want to talk about, and that's all I wanted to explain. And there will be some encountering characters that might make a return and make a comeback again, which, yes, Thanos is going to be confirmed that he'll return back in Season 4 to definitely kill off some characters from the good side and have them erased or a little bit, or maybe be set reverse by the Timeline God, which, trust me, the Timeline God may also come back and might also be the only strong character to overthrow Thanos' plans or maybe beat him in his own game. However, if Thanos is the one who hits first. So that's going to be the only way how that's going to go. But anyways, that being said, we'll see what happens in season 4, and I'm going to be excited as heck that it's going to be so interesting. So thank you guys again for watching. Please be sure to do these 4 things, by the way, is give this video a like and comment and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified. That way you won't miss a single video that comes on this channel. So that being said, thank you guys for waiting, and I appreciate this once again, as we'll see you guys absolutely in the next video. And then also, of course, that I'll actually explain like a few other updates I'll explain. I think the third one I'll also be taking on back. Of course, I might be explaining about reactions and stuff. However, that's going to work out, which it highly also does depend too, by the way, of where this is going to lead. And of course, finally, Knuckles gets to come on in here and also will definitely explain the update on his behalf, by the way, of his behalf exactly. So, let that being said, thank you guys again for watching, and it's time I'm signing out and definitely going to get going, everyone. So, yes, the moment of truth is going to happen next year of 2026 and will be confirmed for season 4 to be released on January. That's right, it will be released no matter likely in 2026, which means Knuckles will have a highly best of chances that his season will rise. For a good reason, by the way. That my main favorite character's season might come on in. That is my main favorite, Knuckles the Echidna, gets his very first time ever of season 4 of his own season. So there you go. And it's been confirmed, and it will definitely be on the spotlight, very likely on the table. That it will happen. And thanks again, everyone, for your support on this second channel. Without you guys, I would really pretty much be saying is like to be thanking everyone for enjoying the seasons of season 1, 2, 3, and then maybe 4. And also, there probably might be a good special occasion for what could really happen in the future, by the way, about like whatever is going to happen. But, I really do again appreciate for this for everyone to highly be thanking everyone so much for actually enjoying the content that I actually do on the second channel and make seasons happen, parodies happen, and all other stuff, continuations, and all good stuff happening. So thank you guys so much for enjoying all of that. And I really, again, am honored to say is thank you guys so much for continuing to enjoy the seasons as it always is. So thank you, and I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys soon enough for the next video. And Knuckles, by the way, will get his update, by the way, soon that he'll explain on his behalf and his perspective, and all other episodes will be all in question marks that'll all be hidden a little bit before they'll become unhidden out of the dark, and then they'll be coming out to the light a little bit for the ideas to be fully be in there and confirmed that it will be released. So like that being said, it's going to get good, and I promise you guys, it's going to get good, and really good, which I know there's going to be a bit of off-topic seasons, but we'll see what all this is going to lead to anyway. So, like that being said, see you absolutely in the next video. And oh yeah, before we get going too, by the way, is please be sure to give this video a like and comment, subscribe to the bell, be notified again, so that you guys don't miss a single video that comes straight into the second channel. So thank you for watching, and yes, the update is going to be confirmed by 2 confirmations by me and Knuckles that will pretty much be explained. But however though, and I'll say this, of what I was going to be mentioned by any chance, that let me just take a look here, since I'm looking on the playlist. So, however this is going to go on the playlist apparently, is that I'm going to take a look for a second. So, let's see. Hold on. Let's just take a look. So, Sonic, by the way, actually, I want to let you guys know, by the way, that yes, Sonic, by the way, I'll mention this anyway, that yes, Sonic and Knuckles will be appearing in their other update about thanking everybody for being patient, which also it's going to be confirmed as well that Sonic and Knuckles will be confirmed to be in season 4. That yes, that Sonic and Knuckles will have a conversation throughout all other stuff and all other conversations. Which, by the way, it's so interesting that Sonic appears 3 different times. That shows up on 3 different playlists of seasons, but he might appear on the 4th one, which I know it's going to be a safety good measures, but I think it was a right time for it to be released at some point on January. But no, I did not release the date of the number that I'm actually explaining about. It depends on which number is going to hit or something like that. So for those who are excited to see it to continue, then yes, that's when I might release it on another occasion, whatever is going to be released. So, like that being said, thank you guys so much for enjoying this season, enjoying our channel. Which I have to say, thank you so much for enjoying this. And if we ever do reach 800 subscribers, by the way, which we highly do depend if we do kind of reach it, by the way, then I will be pretty much be very much likely very happy for it to be at 800 subscribers. So anyway, that being said, I'll see you next time, and it's time I sign off. And Knuckles, by the way, will come on very soon, which he might show up soon enough to be in the next video, or it depends if he shows up. But anyway, not want to waste you guys' time by 20 minutes or near 21 minutes. But anyway, guess it's time we wrap this up and get going anyway. So thank you, goodbye, see you next time, and we'll see you guys in season 4. And of course, I will also be mentioning about the reactions update too, by the way, of the non-plush versions or whatever's going to be happening soon, which depends on whatever's going to be. So, like that being said, thank you. Have a good day. Have an amazing day. And we'll see you guys soon in season 4. And also, if you guys want to get your guys' rounds of applause, by the way, by clapping, then that will also be amazing too. Which I know it's going to be wild. Season 4 is going to take a new, interesting hit and will hit very different. But the same characters will be same characters. Nothing will be changed about them. It will still currently stay as the same formula as season 1, 2, and 3. That will pretty much be happening in same 3 seasons in a row. So, like that being said, thank you and see you later. Goodbye and signing on out. Thank you and see you next time. Take care and sign off.